With the cost of living steadily rising and salaries stagnating, Kenyan workers had high hopes that President William Ruto would declare an increase in the minimum wage during today's Labor Day celebrations. The president has instead announced that the government will create a new wage and remuneration policy to harmonize salaries across the public and private sectors.
We are going to have a new wages and remunerations policy. Tuondoe tofauti ambayo iko kati ya wafanyikazi wa umma, wafanyikazi wa private sector. We must harmonize how we treat all our workers so that all workers work for equal pay.
Workers and employers may also find reprieve in the soon-to-be-established Workers' Compensation Fund, which will employ a premium-based model to provide redress for work-related injuries and illnesses.
Kuna wafanyikazi wengi wanaumia pale kazini, na inakuwa ni changamoto kubwa kupata compensation. Wengi wanakuja pale katika wizara ya Labor, wanahangaika ofisi hii, wanahangaika ofisi hile, kwa sababu tumesema ile mpango iko sasa for compensation around injuries at the place of work ni kwamba it is the employer who bears liability. We want to change the structure because some employers run away from that responsibility when it happens.
Ruto has, however, criticized labor union leaders for failing to advocate for adequate retirement benefits for Kenyan workers. The president has further proposed an overhaul of the pensions framework to curb the rising rate of old age income poverty.
Mimi nimefurahi ya kwamba wakati nimeongea na mzee huyu Atuoli, finally tumekubaliana. Na kuanzia miezi miwili iliyopita, sasa kila mfanyikazi analipa 6% na kila employer analipa 6%. Na unajua, the beneficiary here, good people, the beneficiary is the worker.
The new NSSF contribution rates are also expected to increase the proportion of savings to gross domestic product and boost domestic borrowing.
The culture of saving, we are only at 8% of GDP. Nchi zingine ziko all the way to 55% of GDP. Ndio munaona tunaenda kukopa pesa kutoka China. Kwa sababu in China, their saving culture is at 55% of GDP. Hatutaki kwenda kukopa pesa China tena.
Amid concerns over the welfare of domestic workers at home and in the Middle East, Ruto has announced plans to ratify 2 International Labour Organization conventions to improve working conditions.
We are going to discuss in the next cabinet. My deputy here is going to lead that charge so that we can conclude and we can ratify the Convention on Decent Work for Domestic Workers, ILO Convention number 190, together with ILO Convention number 189, to ensure that workers can go to work, there is no harassment, there is no intimidation, and there is no violence.
Kenyans now remain keen to see whether the government will implement these measures and deliver on its pledges to improve the living and working conditions of its workforce.
Na wageni wote ambao tumekaribisha
Muriel Adhiambo, K24.